Hello, everybody. I am Remy Ilona, and sitting beside me is brother Jacob Rothschild, one of the most engaging Jewish young people I've come across in my life. I met him at Riverside, the University of California, Riverside, as one of my students, and immediately we recognized each other as members of one family. I'm Igbo, he's Jewish. And we began to relate as brothers. And as our brotherliness, as our brotherhood progressed, we began to learn about each other more and more. And this brought me to concluding that we would work on this particular project that we are introducing right now. I have a vision. This vision is to get the Igbo people and the Jewish people who are today the representatives of the people of Israel, to get both of them working together, looking at their joint heritage together, cooperating in all ways they could to make their world, the world of Israel, a better world, and thereby make the world a better place. My brother Jacob will say a little about why we are here, and we will take it from there.
Thank you, Remy. So again, my name is Jacob Rothschild. So I actually met Remy a couple years ago. I was one of his students here at University of California, Riverside. And so I took one of his classes on religion. It's on Judaism, Christianity, Islam. And the more I learned, the more I realized that the Igbo people, there are many similarities between us, and far too many of them to make it seem that was by pure coincidence. The more I learned, the more I read Remy's books, he's written many of them, the more I found out that, the Igbo people are both circumcised on the 8th day. All the major biblical holidays, they are all the same for the Igbos. And so the more I realized, the more it brought me back to my history growing up. So growing up, I did marches since I was, about 15 for the Jewish World Watch. And so I learned about the genocide in Biafra. And it made me realize the similarities, one, between the Igbo people and us Jews and the Holocaust. Something very personal to me. I lost 90% of my family there. And so the more that I became and the more I read about the Igbos, the more I realized our shared heritage, our shared traditions, and that we are of one people, one brotherhood.
Yeah, Jacob has touched on a very, very important subject which we must never forget. We must never forget what happened in Europe and the Middle East, the Holocaust, how the Jewish people were abandoned by much of the world, and 1/3 of the Jewish people were cut off. Something similar happened, as he mentioned, something similar happened in Nigeria. The world abandoned the Igbo people, and 1/3 of the people were also cut off. That was the genocide in Biafra. We need to talk about this in order to stop them from happening again, because both peoples have a lot to give to the world, and when the world does not protect them, the world is losing a lot. My brother Jacob talked about shared heritage. Everything you find in the Jewish world, you will find them in the Igbo world. I read a book recently about the Jewish contribution to Hollywood. We know very well that before the Igbos entered into filmmaking, Nigeria did not have a film industry. But after the Igbos got involved in what you call Nollywood today, Nigeria has a film industry that is the 3rd largest in the world. And in pre-modern times, what defined the Jewish people was trading, buying and selling. The groups they lived with in Europe and the Arab world marginalized them, did not allow them to become part of the upper class, and kept them away from the masses, and the Jewish people were forced into buying and selling. Today, another thing you could use to define the Igbos is trading. In fact, the Igbo business model has been described as the world's largest business incubator platform. in the world, a system or a tradition that Igbos used to bring people out of poverty. Recently, the Harvard Weekly Review published an article on this. So, both peoples share everything, and they're essentially one people.
It's definitely true. Kind of rings back to a little bit of my heritage growing up. I'm very blessed. My father is a doctor. And going back, I'm actually the fifth generation, if God willing, I became a doctor as well. And so what was shared with us and by my father and his father before him was that they can't beat education out of you. And the Igbo people have also realized that education is extremely important, that what you carry in your mind, no one can ever take away from you. And due to our shared history, due to our shared pain, Igbo people have really realized that. And a lot of people don't really realize this, but one of the most, if not the most educated group in America today are actually Igbos in America. And it's pretty cool to be able to look and see, we are of one people. We do both value education tremendously. And to be able to look at that and to see that today, to be able to look at and see the Jewish influences in Hollywood, same as the Igbo influences in Nollywood, it really is very striking. And it's pretty crazy, the parallel that runs between our two people.
So, to put flesh to all these things, to do more for ourselves, because the more we do for ourselves, the more others will do for us. Igbos and Jews, both of us appeal to you, begin to be creative, begin to find ways of working together. Wherever a Jew finds an Igbo, embrace him. He or she is your brother or your sister. Likewise, the same appeal goes to the Igbo people. Whenever you see the Jewish people, embrace them. Embrace them. They are your brothers and sisters. Working together, both of you will have more security, or both of us will have more security. And the more secure we are, the more we'll be able to do for this world.
It definitely rings true. And especially to me, I've always been taught that one of the ways to make yourself strong is to bring more people in to what encompasses one people. And so I definitely think to make our Jewish people strong and to make the Igbo people strong, we have to realize our shared brethren. We have to realize that we both came from the same person. We both come from Jacob. And to realize our shared history, to only really reach our potential, we have to realize that we do have a shared history. We are brothers. And although Remy and I might look a little bit different, we came from the same place. And that, it's only by fate that my Hebrew blood went to Europe and his went to Nigeria. But we are at one.
And my brother couldn't have said it better. There should be an air bridge between Igbo land and the state of Israel. If a Jew feels more comfortable in the rainforests, he should settle there and work with his brothers and sisters. And if an Igbo finds his way to Israel, he will simply know that he has returned to the land of his ancestors and contribute his own quota. And Igbos, when you see Jews being assailed by anti-Semites, rise up and defend them. Jews, when you see Igbos being persecuted, rise up and defend them. Both of you are treasures. Without you, the world cannot be healed. And on this note, we say thank you to our listeners, and feel free to support us. Feel free to join us as we embark on this beautiful journey. Thank you.